in Luke chapter 5, we read of the story of the fishermen. They had gone out fishing the whole night, and they begin to pack up, washing their nets. And at that very moment, Jesus meets with them, and Jesus from the boat begins to minister. He enters into one of the fishermen's boat, Simon, and he begins to minister to the crowd. And at that very time, towards the verse 4, then it says, when he had stopped speaking, he said to Simon, launch out into the deep and let down your nets for a catch. The fifth verse, we see what the situation of the fishermen were. It says, but Simon answered and said to him, Master, we have toiled all night and caught nothing. Nevertheless, at your word, I will let down the net. Simon begins to tell Jesus, we have toiled all night. You see, the word toiled comes from the root word kopiao. That means to feel fatigue. They are drained, they are fatigued, they are drained, they are wearied, they have labored, they have loss of strength, loss of energy. Why? Because they have labored all night but caught nothing. We need to look into what happens next. We see, because of the word that Jesus spoke, he says, at your word we will do it. You said to do it, we will do it. Even though they were fatigued, even though they had been weary of an all night work, they were tired, yet they chose to obey, yet they chose to listen to what Jesus said and put out into the deep, and we know what miracles follow. I want to speak to you who's watching today. Maybe you're going through a very difficult time. Maybe you're tired, you're going through fatigue, you're going through kopiao, a time of weariness. Maybe you've been working and toiling, a situation that's really sucking your energy. Maybe you're going through a crisis in your life which is sucking you of your strength, which is sucking you of your zeal for life, which is sucking you and making you feel horrible or tired or weary or fatigued. I want to tell you, if you begin to just yield to Jesus, you see, even though they were tired, they were still willing to obey Jesus. Another thing is, even though they were tired, they were willing to give Jesus the boat to minister to the people from. We need to ask ourselves, even in our weary situation, even though I feel sometimes completely drained out, am I still willing to yield to the Lord, willing to listen to God? Because I tell you, as Jesus takes over that boat, as Jesus begins to minister through that boat, as Jesus begins to take authority over that situation, we see what follows next is a miracle. I'm speaking to all those who are going through a broken time right now, those who are feeling they're drained, those who are feeling that their zeal for life is wearing out. I want to tell you, if you yield to Jesus, He is the one who can restore you. He can fill your life to overflowing. He did it to the disciples. He can do it to you. They were going through their own struggles, but Jesus entered and changed it all. Even if you're weary, He says, come to me, all you who are tired and heavy laden, and I will give you rest. If you're tired and heavy laden, if you're feeling that life is sucking your energy out, if you feel like your situation is just draining you, He says, come to me and I will give you rest. He is still a God of miracles, and He can do one for you.